What do you think of people pursuing a career in professional sports? The commitment that it takes, dedication that it takes, the time that it takes, the time as far as we call it sinking cost or the trade-offs and the little chance you have as far as like actually making it.
So what do I think about people pursuing professional sports, knowing that there's a very large likelihood that they will not be successful at actually having the opportunity to pursue it? I think that it's great that people pursue professional sports, even if they don't make it, even though it's kind of like a lottery pick, or at least it feels that way. Because of the discipline that a person is able to actually familiarize themselves with, the qualities that a person is able to expose to themselves, much like other rigorous pursuits, it reintroduces you to you and pulls the best out of you to be in pursuit of a professional sport on anything where anything's scarce, where the cream has to rise to the top, where only the best is chosen, exposes them to the qualities that they have deep within themselves that they probably would not have been exposed to had they not been engaged in such a passionate pursuit, where very few are selected. Yes, I definitely think that is beneficial to pursue professional sports even if you don't make it.
Do you think those people are desired as far as like career-wise once they don't make it the job market? Let's say you're a D1 athlete, so you don't get drafted. Like what's on the other side of that?
What do you mean? What's the other side of that?
You don't make it to the league. Mm-hmm. So professionally, you never really became a paid professional. Mm-hmm. Career-wise, what's the benefit of that?
The qualities that you have, that you were able to expose yourself to, that you probably would not have exposed yourself to had you not been required to embark onto a diligent pursuit of a scarce opportunity, such as being drafted to the NFL, such as playing for the Chicago Bulls, the NBA, for example. The same qualities that you use to be great at anything are the same across the board. The detail changes, but the concept doesn't, usually. Which is why a lot of people who, for example, have are you disciplined enough to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and run? No stretching, no getting dressed, no making it comfortable for yourself. That's what people do now. If we had a plan to get up tomorrow and say we're going to go to the gym, you would do that comfortably. Find comfortable clothes that you can move around in. Make sure you leave some time for breakfast. Make sure that you go to bed early so you can be well rested. All of those things that make it comfortable for you. Do you have the discipline and the diligence and the hunger so that you don't require comfort in order to get the job done? And that's what you learn in the military. When you popping up at 5 o'clock in the morning with somebody screaming in your face saying, get up right now, let's go, let's go, let's go. And there's no time for you to pop up, get oriented, stretch, but you're not doing any of that. Picking up right now, let's go, put your shoes on right now, let's go, get up out of bed, grabbing you, throwing you up out the bed. All right, that uncomfortable feeling can make a person get aggressive, can make a person crack, get scared, can make a person cry, or can make a person jump out of the bed, put their shoes on, get up and run. When you go outside, you forgot that it's winter because you're disoriented. You're just not waking up out of your sleep. And somebody's saying, get up right now, pushing you out the door, and now you got to run 2 miles. It's 0 degrees outside and raining. And you in your boxer shorts, running 2 miles, no warm up, no jumping jacks, no stretches, all of these things that we do now to make ourselves feel cute, feel comfortable. I was thinking all these cute things we do. not to make ourselves feel cute, but to make ourselves feel comfortable. That we tell ourselves are requirements. We don't have that there. So that creates a certain type of person. It's not about you expressing yourself. You cutting all your hair off. Bottom line. Your whole beard coming off. Because people get distracted by those things. That's coming off. All you have is you. You don't have all those other fancy things. None of that. You have a uniform on, you look like everybody else. Your hair is cut like everybody else's. What's going to make you stand out is who you actually are, not all of the fluff. So if you do that for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, when you come out from that and you face the world, easy. You ain't got to convince yourself to get up and go to the gym. It doesn't have to be comfortable for you. Oh, the gym is closed. Can't do the work. You ain't been working out in the gym in 20 years. You've been getting up 20 years, running outside immediately. No stretching, none of that. You've been doing that for a long time. You've been shaving for a long time. You've been wearing uniforms for a long time. You know how to make it so that you're presentable. You know your hygiene is on point. You already paid yourself first before anybody saw you today. You know what it's like to get up early in the morning. You know what it's like to go to bed early. You know what it's like to meal prep. You know how to speak to people. You're really practiced at a trade. That's also something that happens in the military. You pick up a discipline. And then all of the intangibles. You have all of those things figured out as well. You know how to make your body do what your brain tells it to do. There's no negotiating. Reason why Tony Robbins wakes up every morning and the first thing he does is walk to a cold plunge and jumps in it. Everything, not like slowly getting into the cold plunge and taking deep breaths and his body's adjusting it. No. It's like a pool. Jump into it. The whole body submerged in it. Not keeping your head out of it, which you see a lot of people doing in the quote-unquote cold plunge. No. You want a cold plunge and get real, put your head in it. Not thinking about it, not eating breakfast first. None of those things. Priming yourself to do what you need to do when it needs to happen, despite how uncomfortable it may be. That same approach to life is not only what you get in the military. You can get that in pursuit of anything great. Tony Robbins is not in the military. Or the same qualities that a person can use to be successful and find success in other aspects of their lives. It's not just the NBA. So just because you didn't make it in the NBA doesn't mean there's nothing left for you. Because the qualities, the person that you become in pursuit of that goal is useful in every walk of life.
It is funny sometimes to see though that like there's also a lot of successful people that are not healthy, that are not really disciplined when it comes to like physically what they do.
Yes.
And for the people that are very disciplined, like working out at home, carry that discipline towards other facets in their life.
Yeah.
No question about that. Well, yeah, what do you think that is?
I think we talked about this before. Why do I think people have discipline in one aspect of life and not in others? Studies show that people like what they're good at. People do the thing that they like. They don't necessarily apply it across their lives. Because they may not like everything else, and they may not be good at other things. They may be really smart. That comes kind of naturally to them. For example, they may be really gifted in math, but they may not have a fast metabolism. They can naturally tell you what's 2 plus 2. At 2 years old, they can tell you that. But they may not be so flexible naturally. They may not have the grit to become good at things that they're not already good at. Ultimately, a lack of understanding the necessities of applying the same tenacity, the same vigor, the same diligence that they do at the thing that they're good at across their lives, despite being interested.
I was going for another walk. Not last night, but the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Just to think. It was nice. It was, I didn't really have a focus on what am I going to think about today.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sitting kind of dawned on me like how great the power of focus is, like how much that can do for your life. Focusing on getting a job, focusing on being me more and attracting whoever aligns with that. And I was like, focusing your mind on whatever you want to focus on really pays off. It's a good start. The only thing was then I was like, I want to focus on like a lot of things. And I still got to see, but it's trial and error. I'm not asking for like steps or nothing. It's like more it's like, I'm gonna try and see how that works if I were to focus, let's say, getting better in my job, really progressing, fitness and nutrition and music production. Can I really focus on three things and experience substantial growth in these three factors? Or is it does one have to fall by the wayside? Or can I have more?
Good question.
That was a really
No, not to me. Good question to yourself.
everything makes focus blurry after a while.
The lack of reward makes focus blurry after a while. It's challenging to reinforce what's not rewarded. And oftentimes that's why it's hard to do, that's why it's hard to delay gratification. And so focusing on the small wins becomes very important because that helps you to remain focused on the larger goal. But if there's absolutely nothing there, if there's absolutely nothing that you can convince yourself to focus on and see it as a small win, then it becomes that much harder to remain focused on the objective. For example, your goal may be to lose weight. Yes, you can, let's say your goal is to lose 10 pounds. Yes, you can focus on each pound you lose, but you can also focus on how many days you made it to the gym. How often did you actually complete the workout in the amount of time that you scheduled the workout to be completed? How much effort did you give to that workout? Did you give it 100%? Because you could complete the workout within a certain amount of time. But know that you only gave it 70%. Your form wasn't as good as it could. The pace in which you did the workout wasn't as good as it could. Your mind-muscle connection wasn't as good as it could. Those things are small wins every time you do it that can help you remain focused on an overall objective of losing 10 pounds. Perhaps it would be beneficial to look for those small wins so that your focus doesn't become blurry over time. Because if you're not progressing, if you don't feel like you're progressing, then it becomes challenging to feel like it's worth it to remain focused.
Because eventually that's what like leads to success anyways. Like it's like an accumulation of small wins. Why do you think people don't see that, the small wins?
Because I think people don't see the small wins because the goal is big. The goal is the big one. Not realizing the importance of the process. The process is the small wins. That is the process. But oftentimes the process is not celebrated. Yeah, we can say that about it. But until we really give context to it, it doesn't really convince people to actually be interested in doing it. It just sounds like a large, abstract idea. And for that reason, it becomes heavy or too light. It's like empty. It's like this big idea that's very heavy, but we can't do anything with it because we don't understand it. For that reason, it feels empty. So it weighs heavily on the mind of the process is what we should be focusing on, trust the process, and etc. But what does that really mean? Because there's oftentimes not an understanding of what it means. People only focus on the big goal because they know what that means. They have a feeling that's attached to the big goal. They don't have a feeling that's attached to the process.
You mentioned something about it's not celebrated. Do you think that's also motivated for people to do things that are celebrated in society?
Yes, success is celebrated. Actually, not success. That's not correct. Accomplishment is celebrated. The process is oftentimes not celebrated. It may be acknowledged, but oftentimes society does not celebrate the process until you achieve the goal, because the goal is what validates the process to society. all actuality, it's the process that validates the goal. But the goal is the benefit, not to you, to society. They acknowledge the benefit that they receive from what you do, from what you've done. Not the benefit that you've received in the process of doing it.